Hey guys, it's Stephanie from Raven and Blots, and today I'm going to be doing the Taylor Swift book tag. Also why I'm repping the red lips. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I originally saw this on Kat from Katie Tastic's channel, and I'm going to link her video down below. I wasn't tagged in this, and I also don't know who the original author was of this, but if you do know, please let me know down in the comments and I will give them credit for creating this tag. Now, I'm doing Kat from Katie Tastic's version of this, where she adds 2 extra songs onto it. So it's 12 songs and you choose the books corresponding. Ready? Okay. And just for warning, it's really hard for me to just say these song titles without actually singing them. So we're going to try, because I don't want to sing them. Yeah. Number 1, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. A book or series that you loved, but now you all are breaking up. I present the Anna, Lola, and Isla trilogy by Stephanie Perkins. I loved Anna and the French Kiss. That was cute. Very predictable, but cute. Loved Lola and the Boy Next Door because Cricket and Lola were so adorable together. I just wanted to squee all the time when they talked. And then there came Isla and the Happily Ever After. Oh, Isla, what can we say about you except I didn't like the love interest that you had in this story. I didn't like Josh in Anna and the French Kiss, and to have a whole book about him being the love interest really just makes me think we're gonna break up. I might still see Lola on the side though. Shh. Number 2, red. Name a book with a red on the cover. For that, I'm going with Love Walked In by Marisa de los Santos. This deals with Cornelia, who is dating Martin. Cornelia owns a coffee shop down in Philadelphia, and one day Martin walks in, followed by his 11-year-old daughter, Claire, who he did not tell Cornelia about. This is an excellent story about forgiveness, trust, love, and friendship, and I absolutely love it. It also got me started on the movie The Philadelphia Story with Cary Grant, Jimmy Stewart, and Katharine Hepburn, which if you haven't seen that movie, it's a must-see. But this is an excellent book. I love the writing, and it's told in dual perspectives, so you get both Cornelia and Claire's point of view. I love it. Number 3, The Best Day. Name a book that makes you feel novelistic. That would be Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. I absolutely loved this series as a kid. I only read the first 3, but I loved this one most of all because this is where Anne gets all of her little quirks and twerks and really honestly just messes up so abundantly. And I love the fact that she did and she was still lovable. I also love the fact when I was a kid that she was the only character I knew that was okay with getting in trouble and okay with running her mouth, and I loved her for that. So this is definitely my pick for that. Number 4, Love Story. Name a forbidden love. For this, I'm going with The Girl Who Chased the Moon by Sarah Addison Allen. In this, you have Emily and Wynne. Because of who they are and who their families are, they are not supposed to be even talking to each other. However, true love always finds a way. I like this because this has a lot of little fantasy elements along with South Carolina barbecue and a room that changes wallpaper when you think about it. It's really a fun book and you should totally check it out. Number 5, I Knew You Were Trouble When You Walked In. Name a book with a bad character that you can't help but love or root for. For this, I'm going with Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Victor and Eli are 2 really, really brainy people, and they decide to do a thesis on extraordinaries. Extraordinaries are like superheroes, but they find out to be extraordinary, to have a superhuman strength or power, you have to go through a near-death experience. So both of them decide to do this, and one of them ends up controlling pain, such as he can control others' pain or force more pain onto you, and the other one can heal himself. And it's a really interesting book because it calls into the morality of the fact of superheroes. And also, Victor and Eli are not good people. I mean, with a title like Vicious, do you really expect fluffy bunnies and pink rainbows? Because if so, you are sadly mistaken. This is a gritty book, but it's really good. You should read it, like now. Number 6, Innocent. Name a book you were ruined for. Like the spoilers, the twists, whatever. Now, this is the saddest spoiler I had ever gotten, and that's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, number 7. Now, if you have not read this book or you have not watched the movie, you need to fast forward, because I don't want to spoil you like I was spoiled, and when I put this book down, it'll be okay to listen again. But until then, I want you to, like, literally fast forward, okay? Okay. Seriously, I had this book when it first came out. I have the new covers now, which are pretty. But I had this book when it first came out. I hadn't gotten a chance to read much of it, so I was only halfway through. In the Great Battle, my friend came up to me. It had been out for a week, and she thought I was done with it. We started talking about it. And this was when I was younger. I didn't realize the trauma that spoilers have. She goes, I can't believe who died in the Battle of Hogwarts. And I go, who? And she goes, a Weasley. And I go, Percy? Percy died, right? And she goes, no, Fred. What? What? No, Fred and George are sacred. You can't kill Fred and George. They are wrong. You are wrong, ma'am. And I read it, and I was so mad that that got spoiled for me, because as soon as he made the joke and I saw him die, I was spoiled though, because I don't think I gave it the proper emotion, because I knew it was coming. So this one was my biggest spoiled moment. I was not happy with that person. Number 7, Everything Has Changed. A character who goes through extensive character development. For this one, I am saying Finding Audrey by Sofia Kinsella. I believe that Audrey really goes through a lot in this book. She starts off as someone who has a lot of really bad anxiety attacks, and by the end, she is very brave and courageous, and she faces her fears. And so I really feel like she goes through a lot of different character developments throughout the entire book. I really, really like her. Number 8. Number 8, You Belong With Me, the most anticipated book release of the year. For me, well, it came out last week, but it was still my most anticipated book release because I heard about it in May. It's Everything by Nicolia Yoon, and if you haven't read it, you need to read it because it's amazing and I love it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's my precious. It's my precious. This honestly was a book I heard about from booktubers who had an arc of it, and I kept going to the bookstore asking about it, and they finally told me it doesn't come out until September. You need to go away. And so then when it came out, I read it pretty much in 2 nights, and I just loved this book. There are a few things I didn't like, but I have a review book on this coming up, a review video, and so I'll talk more in depth, but I really did love this book, and it was my most anticipated, so there's that. Number 9, there we go. Forever and Always, your OTP. OTP means one true pair. And for this, there is only one. Mr. Darcy and Lizzie Bennet from Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is my one true pair, always. My OTP, I ship them from the very first chapter that Mr. Darcy walks through that door. Oh, the words that she is barely tolerable. It's just, yes, I want a Mr. Darcy, and I love Lizzie's conversations with him, and I love his remarks back to her, and this is just, it's always been my OTP, always. I always ship them. Always. Always. Number 10. Trying to make sure these books don't fall on me. Number 10, Come Back, Be Here Pick the book you would least likely lend out because you would miss it too much. Now, normally I would say Pride and Prejudice, but I have about 4 copies of Pride and Prejudice, so I could loan out one of those copies and just not my good copy. So for this one, I'm going to say Simply Tuesday by Emily P. Freeman. This is a nonfiction book talking about finding the greatness in the small everyday life, such as Tuesdays, and how learning to take down the ladders of corporations and build benches and invite people to sit and welcome each other in. I really enjoyed this book. This is a book that I'm definitely going to have to reread again because there was so much that I marked in here and that I wrote down, and I just love this book. And so I think if I let somebody borrow it, I would be really like kind of needing it back because there's a lot of stuff that I really didn't get the first read through, but I'm going to within the second or third read through. So here are the 2 bonus questions that Kat added. Number 11 is Teardrops on My Guitar. Basic cryfest, babe. Most emotional book ever. Yeah. No, seriously, like cryfest. This one is Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. This book will wreck your life, and you will bawl and ugly cry in Barnes & Noble like I did. Oh yeah, totally did it. This book deals with Taylor and her dad. Her dad has just been discovered with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and when you find that out in the first chapter, you kind of realize this is not going to be a happy read. And what happens is her dad wants the entire family to go up to this lake house to spend one last summer. And it's about friendships and fear and running away from things that make you feel scared, and also the possibility of death. And I love this book because Morgan wrote such realistic characters, and she also didn't shy away from the fact that yes, there's going to be death, and yes, there's going to be hard days. And I just love Morgan so much because she just, her characters are just, I love her books. Love them. So yeah, that one totally made me cry. Oh, it made me cry. Number 12. Shake It Off, a book you love so much that you're just gonna shake off the haters. For this, I am going with They Came to Baghdad by Agatha Christie. Now, I know what you're saying. Agatha Christie's pretty popular stuff. Wait, what? Why? Okay, let me explain. In Agatha Christie, she is extremely popular. However, when you go on Goodreads or you go on to any of the reviews about this book, it's all pretty low and they're pretty like disappointing, and honestly they're kind of like sad because they're all hating on this book. And this is one of my favorite Agatha Christie books. It deals with a unreliable narrator who lies all the time, and spies, and like ventures and murder and mystery and everything. And you should read this book. It's really a great read. Like, I love it. And even if people don't like it, I personally still think it's one of her best created because she really does give the narrator such an unreliability that you can't even trust the narrator, which is awesome. I hate it when you can trust the narrator too much. I like a little bit of mischievousness. Alright guys, so that was the Taylor Swift book tag. If you haven't done it yet, consider yourself tagged, because I'm not going to tag anybody because I think just about everybody's done this one. Anyway guys, I hope you have an amazing night, and keep reading, you awesome dragons, you.